So step two was for us to really understand what product qualified leads are, and then replacing marketing qualified leads with product qualified leads. So our original sales process at Bonjoro, and we actually use Freshsales for this, it's been a great tool for us, was identifying marketing qualified leads. So these were signups we deemed were more likely to close based on the profile that we had originally built around industry, use case, company size. So we would reach out to marketing qualified leads. We would reach out to them to book demos, and those demos that would, Bonjoro would fit their budget, their need, and their timing. Authority wasn't a big one for us. It seemed like we have a relatively smaller deal size, so it was a pretty much most people who signed up had the authority or were the main buyer. So people who fit their budget, need, and timing, we would then move them into a sales qualified lead status. And then our sales cycles were pretty short, so essentially we would move them to closed won or lost depending on if they continued their trial and entered their credit card or they didn't enter their credit card. So that was our original sales process, pretty straightforward, pretty quick compared to maybe some of the sales cycles you guys might be going through. Depending on the size of your product, you might be seeing something a lot more stages, consideration, quote, etc. But with us, it was pretty straightforward. The problem with this process was MQLs are pretty much completely subjective. We made up a profile on what we thought was ideal in terms of industry, company size, roles, use case. And so we would just kind of base it off of what we thought were our ideal customers. We also have a very self-serve, self-convert product. So people typically sign up, they have a trial, they want to test it out themselves. They don't typically want to see a demo from us. It's a pretty straightforward self-serve product. So when we would identify an MQL and reach out to them to book a demo, a lot of times we wouldn't hear back from them, or we wouldn't actually book a lot of demos. Once in a while we would. They were pretty straightforward. And because it was a self-convert product, people mostly just wanted to discover the entire process on their own. So we actually had little to no control over the conversion process. As much as I tried and we tried to get in there and speak to our customers, they pretty much wanted to get there on their own. So the solution was to introduce product qualified leads. So if you're not familiar with a product qualified lead, I'll use a definition from Tomas from Redpoint Ventures. So product qualified lead are potential customers who have used a product and reached a predefined trigger that signify a strong likelihood of becoming a paid customer. And an example of this is actually a great example of Slack. So Slack identified their free trial signups as PQLs when they reached the threshold of 2,000 messages sent as a team. They've realized that this was kind of a moment where a team has received value. They would then go on to convert, and of those conversions, they would retain 93% of those conversions, which is great. There's a few other examples of this. I think there was companies like Expensify when you're uploading documents. Any type of usage-based product, you can usually find a really great tipping point to discover when your customers are getting value. So for Slack, it was 2,000 messages sent. So at Bonjoro, we actually went through a deep analysis of this as well. Grant on our team in Sydney spent countless hours pouring through all the data of the numbers of videos sent from our customers who were currently paying, from customers who had churned, and we identified that 15 videos sent was kind of the tipping point where we were seeing a lot of the increase in retention was happening. So people were sending more than 15 videos, were sticking with us a lot longer. It kind of aligned well with the usage-based data we found between our ideal customer and least ideal customer. So what we started to do was to actually only reach out from a sales perspective to those individuals who sent 15 videos or more. So typically, prior to this, it would be we had a kind of combination of automated onboarding where you would get auto drip messages from Intercom, giving you tips on how to get the most value from Bonjoro, how to send more videos, etc. We also actually send a video to every single customer who signs up. So if you sign up for Bonjoro, we'll send you a one-to-one video. It's not automated. It's a real person from our team who's sending you a video from somewhere in the world. It's either in London or Sydney or Texas, or if one of us is traveling, we'd like to send videos from pretty cool places. But we were always kind of reaching out to all customers for that demo, and instead we switched that process over to only reach out to signups who were hitting that 15 video mark. So we were really focusing on that PQL tipping point. But unfortunately, what happened was there was still real really no change. People were, still reluctant to set up a demo or see a demo, have a conversation. They still wanted to kind of see things on their own and get themselves over the line. So we didn't really see a huge change in this, which was disappointing because we had identified that these particular customers who have sent 15 videos are most kind of our highest likelihood to actually convert and stay with us. But we didn't see a huge change.